Okay, so hello and welcome back to our channel, Mixed in the Midwest. Today I wanted to get on and kind of just talk to you guys a little bit about something that is going on, particularly in Stefan's life, but Stefan is part of our family, so in all of our lives. It's kind of personal to us and Stefan's story, but felt like it's something that we should share because it's not that uncommon, we feel like, of a thing in today's day and age. And we felt like if we shared our story, that maybe somebody out there might be, drawn to do the same, or maybe be in the same situation and find inspiration through Stefan or what we have kind of experienced. So we just want to kind of tell that story. So it's kind of, I guess, a long story, but wanted to kind of share from my end of it, and then of course Stefan will fill in whatever is his, and we can just kind of go from there. But so when I first met Stefan, as every couple does, you start to learn about them and who they are and their family, their background, their life. And he told me, almost right away, that he did not know his dad, his biological dad. I'm gonna probably refer to him as dad, even though biological dad would be the answer, because Stefan has a dad that raised him his whole life that he loves. But Stefan did not know his biological dad. And it didn't seem like something that really bothered him or affected him at the time. He didn't seem to have any interest in knowing him or figuring out who he was, but I didn't push. I didn't ask a lot of questions because it wasn't really my place in the beginning to know or to ask or to push anything like that, because he's lived his whole life, 30 years not knowing his dad, and that is 100% his prerogative to do. But as time kind of went on, you get to know each other a little bit more. My cat jumps in the video. You get to know each other a little bit more, and he had expressed that he did want to meet his dad at some point. Wasn't in like a rush or a hurry or anything like that, but he did want to know him and he wanted to meet him, and he had questions for him and things like that. And again, I wasn't going to push, but I want that for him if that's what he wants to. I want him to know who that is. Sorry, go down, please. So last year, or at the end of last year, so like 2018, we kind of set New Year's resolutions, just things that we wanted to work on in our relationship and with each other in life, whatever. And Stefan's two things were he wanted to work on communication, because if you know Stefan, you know he needs to work on that a little bit. And he wanted to find his dad. He wanted to meet him in 2019. So we kind of jumped online, I think, as anyone would do, and kind of started to do some searching. Stefan does know his dad's name. He knows kind of where his dad was at when Stefan was born. He knows that he kind of got into some trouble along the way, things like that. So we jumped online. We started searching for any kind of records we could really find of his dad. And we did find a couple different things. We ended up calling a couple different places trying to get any information. A lot of that stuff is really confidential, and so we couldn't really get anywhere with that. We kind of hit a dead end. Stefan ended up having some friends at work that found a few addresses of his dad, I say, and we went to one of them actually one day, and no one was home, no one was there. So we didn't want to kind of cross that bridge again. So then after that, Stefan kind of, and we had searched, of course, we looked on social media, Facebook, Instagram, things like that, anything that we kind of had that we could search through. I kind of hit a dead end and just stopped looking. But Stefan ended up finding a picture of somebody's profile, and he came to me one day and he's like, I think this is my dad. Like, he looks like the pictures that my mom has showed me and that I have. And when I saw him, like, yeah, he looks a lot like the guy that I've seen in the pictures. So I told him, like, just reach out, just jump on there, message him. The worst that could happen is he says, that's not me. So some time went by, actually a few months went by, and I was kind of just waiting and waiting. Again, I don't want to push in this situation because it's not it's not my life, and it's not something that I can relate to 100%. I have a dad, and I have my whole life that I'm obsessed with. Anybody that knows me knows I'm a daddy's girl, and it's something that I don't quite understand, but I try and respect what Stefan wants and what he feels, and that's what I've kind of been doing, kind of staying in my lane while trying to be supportive through this. But once I got pregnant, and when you're having a kid with someone, there are questions that come up that you'd want to know. You'd want to know if there's any health concerns or things that would be hereditary that could be passed down to your child. As Stefan and me are getting married, I want to know if there's anything that he could potentially, health-wise, be more prone to, or get somewhere down the line that he has from this whole side of his family he doesn't even know. And that was kind of something that I was concerned about, was if my daughter could potentially be at risk for something that is in our family, I would want to know. But Lux is 6 months, so I'm not, I'm not going to push anything like that quite yet. So the other day, one day last week, I just had this like wild hair. I'm like, I love Stefan. Stefan loves me. I'm going to message this guy, and at the very least, Stefan will be mad at me, and but eventually he'll get over it because he loves me and I love him, and that's just how it works in relationships. So I just took a chance, and I messaged this guy, and I told him, I'm like, I'm Kiana, I'm Stefan, Royer's fiance, and I think that you could be his biological dad. He obviously doesn't know I'm reaching out, but I know that he could maybe want to meet you one day, and I just wanted to know if you are him. I didn't really expect an answer back. I just kind of sent it and went about my day. But within, I don't even know, it might have been an hour, he messaged back and said, I am Stefan Royer's dad, and I want to be in his life, and here's my number. And obviously I freaked out. And I sent a message to Tiffany. I started calling my mom, and I of course texted Stefan in the midst. I'm like, I think we found your dad. Like, I think, and you can't. So I told him, I didn't tell him that. I was like, you need to call me. Like, call me as soon as you can. He's at work, obviously. He called me, and I'm like, the first thing I said was, you can't be mad at me. And he's like, oh, don't start it like that. Because of course, what am I going to do? What if, he could very well be mad at me, but I'm asking him not to be. So I told him, I'm like, I messaged the guy on Facebook that you thought could be your dad, and he messaged back, and he says that he is, and he wants to meet you. And Stefan just kind of like laughed on the other end of the phone. He just kind of gave a few like giggles, and he's like, send me the messages. So I did, and really that's kind of where we are right now. Stefan hasn't reached out yet, and that was, I think it was last week that I did that, and so I'm sure Stefan has a lot of reservations and concerns and things that he hasn't even quite processed. I think that when you've gone your whole life, Stefan's almost 30 years and not knowing someone, and then there's the potential that there could be a relationship, or just the expectations of what Stefan has thought in his mind all these years could now come to fruition. And what if it doesn't happen the way that he has thought it was going to all this time? And what if it does? There's a lot of possibilities in all of this that we don't really know and can't really know until it just happens. But I'm, again, trying my best to just be supportive of what he wants and understand that it's on his time, and it's huge. I'm getting emotional thinking about it because, like I said, I've had a dad my whole life, and I can't truly understand what it would be like to not have him in my life. But outside of that, knowing Stefan is a true gift, because he is the best person I know, 100%. And on top of that, Stefan is the best dad on the planet. I swear. He was born to be a dad. And our daughter is so lucky to have him, and to see him step into this role, despite everything he's been through. It's just a true testament of who he is and the man that he is. And anyone that knows him is truly, truly so lucky to know him, because he is truly the best person I know, and just a good-hearted, loving person. And I know that no matter what happens with this, Stefan will go on. Me and him will go on, and we'll live our life, and we'll raise Lux the way that we always, intended to. But I am excited for him and the possibilities that this could bring in his life, and a relationship with his dad that he's never had. And I don't know, I'm excited for him. Of course, I'm like 100% in protective mode too, and know that if anything were to ever hurt him, or, make him feel less than, that I'm ready to be there and pick up the pieces and care about him the way that I'm intended, that I'm supposed to. But I also am I want happiness for him. I want this to turn out good and to be a happy ending for him. I don't think it's going to be perfect, but I think that it will be something that can be worked on and progress. So anyways, I've talked for a long time. I don't want to ramble. Leave you at that. He hasn't met his dad yet, but hopefully when he does, we can get Stefan to sit down and kind of talk about it and open up and kind of, talk about this journey and what we did and how he feels. And, because I can only tell from the outside looking in. I can't give a accurate, expression of what he feels and what he's going through, and I wouldn't want to. It's his story to tell, and I want him to be able to share it the best way that he can. So I'm going to leave you guys here on kind of a cliffhanger, and we will keep you updated as we find out more.
Alright, so today, life-changing event, for me at least. Some people know, some people don't. I never knew my biological dad, and for years and years I've searched for him on internet or phone books, white pages, yellow pages, everything, and Google everything. So I've known bits and pieces about him from my mom, and finally, since I've been with Kiana, she's pushed me a little bit harder on looking for him, because that's one of those things I think, I don't know if it's part of the social work background or degree, but it's pretty important for for me to find him. And it's been important to me, of course, now having a daughter of my own. There's those minor things hey, I want to know some family health history, because on doctor forms, I've always been able to fill out my mom's side, but not my dad's side, and it's just good to know. And it's just wild. I've always just played with the thoughts of actually finding and meeting him. It just didn't sound or seem realistic to me. I would watch Oprah back in the day, and she'd have these people that find their parents randomly. And I thought, maybe if I get on Oprah, then I can find him, or just random stuff. But yeah, it's pretty, I guess it's coming into, it's becoming more realistic nowadays. Found him on Facebook, a pretty private profile, and I've wanted to send him a message, but I'm almost 30 years old. So what do you say to the dude, hey, I guess that's what's been stopping me too. I've found him on Facebook for 2 or 3 weeks, haven't sent him a message. yeah, so Kiana, she finally got tired of it and sent him a message herself, and I got his number, and one thing led to another. We're gonna meet up today. So I see it like it would be cool to have a relationship with him, of course, but I don't know if I could ever really see him as a dad figure. I've had a father figure in my life since I was 6, and like if he's cool, that's cool. Like form a relationship, maybe just I don't know. So it's complicated, mixed emotions. Like of course, sad, mad, excited, happy. Like I've got questions I want to ask, and I'm sure he already knows. He probably plans on telling me his story. Like, yo, what's up? Why? Where you been? Yeah, I'm going. I should have like some structure to this, but yeah, as you can probably just assume, like there's, like I said, a mixed emotions. I guess starting off, I want him to know, like, hey, I'm not mad. I don't know if he thinks that, probably, but yeah, I'm not mad at him. I just want to like get to know him, and if he's not a complete douche tool, like, hey, we could maybe form something from this. Get to know you, and if you have kids before and after me, that'd be cool to get to know that side of the family. But then if he is like, hey, it's been good to know you, like, I don't know. But I just hope that's not the case. Hopefully he's got his stuff together. Yeah, pretty darn excited. We're gonna meet over at the library by my house, and it's just a public or a common ground kind of thing. We're not gonna go read some books or anything, but there's stuff to do. So, and the weather's getting nice, so maybe we could just go outside and chit chat, get caught up to date on each other's lives. But yeah, really excited. It's kind of an understatement. Nervous, all of it. But yeah, first things first. I gotta get cleaned up, so I'll be back after this. Okay, so I had to go get a haircut right quick, and figured I should look presentable when I meet him. But yeah, pretty excited still. All right. So the meeting, I don't know how much I talked about it last night afterwards, but it went pretty well. And he called again this morning just to chit chat, shoot the breeze. But yeah, there will definitely be more meetings, or like, yeah, the future looks good. Trying to start off slow. I can be pretty excited about some things, but yeah, trying to be slow about it. But again, if it wasn't
walking
for
by and making us feel awkward.
if it wasn't for Kiana, probably still have his number or inbox. Just haven't messaged him yet. So thank you for pushing me a tiny bit.
I'm a little pushy.
Yeah. So I said it was kind of based on your social work experience or degree learnings. But oh my goodness, so extra.
I don't want her to get hot.
Okay, so we had a small celebratory dinner at the fancy Midwest restaurant, Texas Roadhouse. Lux, she might be addicted to the rolls and sweet tea. Probably, she's fiending.
So much. She had so much of the rolls. I don't even know how, but she just kept pulling on me to give her more rolls. It was kind of cute.
So it was a good weekend overall. So we're back home now. Probably just try and find a movie or Lux gets bath time because she got some mashed potatoes in her hair earlier, getting reckless in the booth. And then yeah, spend the rest of the night with my ladies. But
For the crazy week ahead.
yep. But as usual, like, comment, subscribe.
Yes.
If you like with the video, if you have any like questions or related stories, experiences, or even advice, whatever, we can chit chat about that. But yep.